If you want to try something different with potatoes, I think you might like this one. We're making 1,000-layer potatoes, or as it's actually called, potato pave. Sounds fancy and it is a little bit. Let's try learning. I've never made this before. Let's get everything out, get to work. Okay, so our ingredients are basically, I got 7 potatoes because I didn't really have a whole lot of big potatoes. So we got them, some cream, butter, some oil for frying, a little bit of cooking spray, a little bit of salt and pepper, and that's pretty well it. This is a real basic ingredients kind of recipe. So here's our potatoes to start with. And now we got to peel them. So I'm just going to take them all, carefully peel them. I always thought we should come up with something for the peels, right? I hate throwing them out. Maybe like French fried peels. But anyway, each potato we're going to slice up thin with a mandolin. I'll show you that in a sec. Place it in the bottom of a bowl, and we're going to pour cream over it. Well, by the time we're done, all the potatoes we're using, they'll be covered in cream. So here's all our peeled potatoes. I'm just getting them out of the way and moving the peels out of the way. Here's my chopper. I love this mandolin because you don't go anywhere near the potato. You just push down at the top, and it slices right down to almost nothing. See, there's almost nothing left, just a little piece of potato left, and you end up with a little container. You put that in the bowl. Now here's our pan. We actually need 2 of them. I had to fight with the pan to get the parchment paper in. You cut it on a diagonal on each of the 4 sides. Make sure you put a lot extra, enough to fold over on the long sides. I suppose you could on the other sides if you wanted. I trimmed them. See how this side's a little longer? Okay, that should be all right to fold over. And like I said, I trimmed the ends. You probably don't have to. Here's what we're working with, and now we're going to take each of the slices of potato, and we're going to carefully build up a layer. Make sure you get right into the corner. Very important. And then we're just going to fill up the bottom layer. Like that. And now we're going to put a little bit of, I've got melted butter here. Sometimes you put little pats. Salt and pepper could go on every layer or every other layer. I didn't do, I probably shouldn't have. And now I'm just kind of checking to make sure it is going to fold over. Yeah, looks good. Fold it all in. We've done all our layers, all our potatoes. Now we're going to put that in the oven. 375, an hour, maybe an hour and a half. An hour should likely do. We'll take them out and we'll carefully pull the top off because I got to check them to see if they're done. They've been in for about an hour and 10 minutes as of right now. Take a toothpick, give it a dip, and as long as it comes out clean, they're done. And it looks good to me. So the paper goes back on, our other pan goes on top, and now we're going to weight them down with 2 or 3 cans. This has to go into the oven once it's cooled down, not into the oven, into the refrigerator. 6 hours at least, or overnight, which is what I did. And hopefully you can see that they've kind of compacted a little bit. So now we've got to get it out of the pan. So I'm kind of pulling at it there just to make sure. I don't have a fancy plate or cutting board to put them on. I guess I could have done it that way. Now we're going to flip it over and peel the parchment paper off. Oh, isn't that fun? There we go. Now we're going to cut the edges ever so carefully because you don't want all that crusty edge on it. There you go, like that. There. And don't you worry, I'm going to save that. Actually, Abby's going to use it for hash browns in the morning. We slice it into 1-inch pieces-ish. I ended up with 11 of them. Very cool. We'll put that aside, and we have some oil. Medium heat, I put it at, nice and hot, put them in. And I learned something while I was doing this. Medium probably isn't where you want it. You want it a little hotter than that. It worked out all right, but they started falling apart, and by the time we were done, well, about 3 minutes each side, and I'm sure you can see they all fell apart on me. That's okay. We're going to put them on some paper towel, and we're just going to make some potato pave chips with some salt in it. Here's our second batch. 3 minutes, we flipped them over, flipped them again. The heat, I made sure the heat was a little hotter, so that way the oil was a little hotter. And you can see they're all holding together a lot better this time. And you know, by the time I got done, that first one decided to give me a little bit of trouble. But you know what? They all held together like that. That was pretty cool. There's our potato pave. 1,000-layer potato, well, more like 6 or 7 layers. It kind of reminded me of French fried scalloped potatoes, if that makes any sense. But they definitely were good, and we'll be making them again. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.